Final seconds coming off the clock here, but Lotzenheiser looking to have a crucial game ender. The shot, and it's taken by Buga. Wow. High drama there at the end of regulation. Overtime number 1, and now OT number 2 in the books. We will go to a sudden death shootout. Gotta love what we got going on right now. We'll take a quick commercial timeout. We'll be right back. See who punches their ticket to take on the Rams on Saturday.
You know, yoga isn't just for men with ponytails. It's a great tool for relieving stress. But most of those poses aren't realistic. Yeah. You're a construction worker, not a f***ing gymnast. That's why I made this video. Yoga for men. With poses like Weekend Warrior pose. The man spread. And my personal favorite, the just resting my eyes pose. That's the stuff. From depression, relationships, stress, and everything in between. Go to Man Therapy.
2 40-minute halves and 2 15-minute extra sessions. Not enough here tonight as we move on to the penalty kick phase of the match. 1-1 right now, the score. And what's going to happen is that each team will select 5 players. They're going to flip a coin to determine who gets to be on defense first. So it looks like Perkins has 1, and typically you want to be on defense first. That way you know what you have to match and answer. So the keeper will have to stay on that back line. He cannot move his heels off of it. And then, of course, from the 6 is where the offensive players will come up and will kick from. And so there's Coach Peter Tem. He's giving his roster of who he wants to kick the penalties. Paul Lee has already turned his in. And this is just kind of a cat and mouse game, and this is something that it may seem easy to be able to score from 6 yards away, but a lot of mind games, and of course with the pressure of the moment sometimes it's a lot more complicated than it might seem. But certainly favors the offense, and I believe that we have done the research here on the OH report, and more than 80% of the time, at least in regulation or in the field of the game, that PKs are made at the high school level. So much different, I think, when it comes down to these penalty shootouts, which, of course, they don't occur at all during the regular season. So it's one of those interesting parts of high school soccer that it's something that you work on, you practice, but you don't need it at all until you get into the tournament. And now all of a sudden a situation that neither Trenton Reed nor Danny Buga has been in, they're going to be called upon to try to make a couple of stops and send their team into the next round. So here comes the conversation, the last one from the referee to the keepers, providing their instructions on a beautiful night here in Norwalk. 65 degrees, clear skies on hand. It has been picture perfect tonight for some high school soccer, and it's been a great match. I mean, 1-1, we've seen Lexington at times kind of control and dictate the pace, and also the Pirates taking advantage when they needed to with that first half goal by Camp. Needed a little late night rally there by Lexington. Just 2:40 remaining in regulation is when they got their only goal of the match. And so I presume that it'll be Lexington shooting first. And the lineup card's now in for both teams. And like we saw last night in one of our Division 5 matches, if we don't have any separation after those 5 shooters kick, then we just keep going until somebody makes it and somebody does not during a round. So we'll see if that ends up being the case so far here tonight, as we'll begin things with Cohen Lotzenheiser of Lexington. And he'll place it up here. I believe it's a 12-yard window in between him and the keeper. Buga trying to get real big. Try to capture the eye here of Cohen, throw him off as he stutter steps, and he knocks it in. Lexington takes a 1-0 advantage. So Cohen Lotzenheiser comes in, and he does what he needs to do. So we'll show you the replay here. Buga trying to guess one way or the other, and that's top shelf and right into the corner. Really tough save opportunity. And now it's Ryan Wells' turn. See if he can try to even things up. Trenton Reed really bouncy back there, trying to show like he's going to go left, and he dives that way. But Wells just hammers it basically straight into the middle. We are all even. 2 shooters. Both of them hit the bullseye. Just kind of psyched out Trenton Reed that time. And those are the fun ones when you can just basically barrel it up and throw it right center cut in the middle. Now it's Jackson Pigg's turn. Jackson, right down Main Street. Basically identical to what we just saw from Wells. And now Lexington takes a 2-1 cushion. As we'll get Caden Camp with an opportunity to try to even things up at 2 apiece. Camp was our player spotlight tonight for obvious reasons. Dude had a phenomenal season. Great goal scorer. And he continues that here. So the SBC Player of the Year knocks it through. Dude has been such a goal-scoring weapon. And using the left foot to perfection as he sends it over on the left side. The back line boss for the Minutemen, Colton Jugovic, will get his turn. We've had 4 shooters. Nobody's been stopped yet as Jugovic comes up a lot of strides and then just shoots it over into the left bottom side. 3-2 Lexington back on top. As Jackson Cassidy comes out. And I think just that mini hesitation there at the end. He came out, accelerated, and then just kind of eased off the gas just a little bit, did Jugovic, before he struck that one into the back post, nice and low. Jackson takes a hop over to the left, and now he barrels it up. Top shelf over to the right. And we continue to remain even. 3-3, nobody coming up with a save just yet. Trenton Reed just guessing wrong there. Diving low and to his right. So just great goal scoring on both sides. We'll see if that continues here with Cam Turlow. Shuffles to his left, and oh, he misfires. So Buga doesn't have to make a save. And he gives Perkins the advantage. Turlow just missed it out wide. Probably about 2 feet to the outside of that right post. Big moment here for Titus Normington-Slay. And an equally as large moment for the keeper, Trenton Reed. As Lexington misfiring for the first time. Perkins to try to take the lead. Hanging on the right foot of a youngster here. And he does just what he needs to do. The sophomore with a little shoulder shrug. And the Pirates in prime position now as the Minutemen have to sink their next opportunity or it is lights out, game over, and the Pirates will move on. So everything resting on the shoulders of that young man, Noah Utz, has to make it. Freshman keeper on the back line, hopping around, trying to get in the head of Ut. And Noah over the top. That will do it, folks. Perkins wins it. The number 2 seed moving on as Lexington misses their last 2 penalty kicks. And the Pirates go a perfect 4 for 4. What a game. Extra time ×2 and the penalty kick shootout, my first of the year. And it ends with the top 2 seeds now moving on to meet for the championship. As Lexington heartbroken, no player on the roster has ever lost in a district. It's been nothing but regional qualifiers for them. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back. We will hear from our most valuable player, then wrap things up on an awesome night here in Norwalk.
Picking up new hobbies such as cooking is another manly way to avoid depression and reduce stress. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make my world-famous guaco mahogany. First, mash up 5 or 6 of these green things. Then add hot sauce, this lettuce stuff, these red things, salt, some of this stuff, and limes. And finally, bacon to taste. Delicious.
What a match here at Norwalk, and couldn't have brought it to you folks live and free without the help of our generous sponsors. Give it up for Mechanics Bank, Richland County's only independent community bank. Baker's Collision, feel the Baker's difference. Family owned for over 65 years. Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, along with Charter Next Generation, who is hiring for high-paying jobs right now in a cutting-edge environment. And Barrister Title Group. Title insurance doesn't have to be a puzzle. Trust the team at Barrister Title Group. We're about to hear from the winning keeper of the match. Hang tight. In about 1 minute, we'll have Danny Buga. Back now with our player of the game, presented by Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, and he's a freshman. Danny Buga gets it done tonight. Victorious here in this district semifinal, and obviously a lot of crazy moments out there on the pitch, but you get it done in your first ever penalty shootout. Let's start there, and just what's that like as a goalie? You don't get any of these situations in the regular season. Now you're asked to do it in the biggest moment on the biggest stage. Take me through your mind in that situation.
Well, coach said guess left, guess right. I guessed left, and the last two I came up to him and I said, which side you going? Because I saw a pro do it and messed them up. It's nice. I've been practicing penalties in practice and saving them.
So it works out for you guys. You get the big saves when you need to, get into the last two shooters' heads to move on, but Throughout the course of the night, minus that one goal that they got with 2:40 to go, keeping a clean sheet back there defensively. I thought your back line was really solid too.
Yeah,
Just what can you say about your play, making the saves when you needed to, and then also your defense for, keeping you guys in the game all night?
Well, at practice, we've been working on trapping the ball and using me, Talon, and Ashton, just working it around. It's a 3v1, so we use that, draw them in, and build them out. Just been working on it a lot.
Last year, a big year for the Pirates. You weren't a part of it at the high school level, but to build on it and now get a step further moving on into the district championship match, from what you've heard from some of these older kids, some of the seniors and the veterans, how nice is it for them to continue with the building blocks and keep moving further in this playoffs? How nice is this?
This is really nice. It's something I've been dreaming of. District championships, been wanting it since last year. Off-season work, winter, spring, playing club. It's all I've been working for. And got a big game on Saturday, but we're going to deliver.
Give me just some quick thoughts on taking on the #1 seed. You guys are the #2, and how excited are you for a shot at the Madison Rams?
I'm so pumped. We played them in Findlay at a summer camp. Beat us 1-0, but I made a simple mistake. But I had a lot of saves. But with a full lineup, I think we got a good shot at them.
All right, congratulations, Danny, for being our MVP. Before we turn you loose, keep looking in that camera. Just give as many shout-outs as you like to anybody who helped get you onto this place where you're moving on to the district championship.
Well, first, I want to thank Coach Ball, Coach Matt, Coach Glenn. All been helping me since day one. Coach Ball especially has been in my soccer life for ever since I was little. Ever since I touched the ball, he's been there. All my teammates, they've been there, helping me up after a goal, especially Caden Camp. My buddy, he's a good one. Talon, Ashton, my 2 center defenders, love them both. They're both really good.
All right, that's Danny Buga, your Whitaker Myers MVP.
Thank you.
It's your post-game show brought to you by Baker's Collision. Truth, honesty, integrity, expertise, and passion. 4-3 in the penalty shootout. Perkins advancing the #2 seed as they knock off Lexington, something no team's been able to do for the better half of a decade here in the district round, as Coach Tim talking to his kids right now after a valiant effort. I am Brian Skrotsky. Georgia McFarland now hanging out with me up here in the box, and we've seen the Minutemen. They've kind of just been terrorizing the competition in the districts for many, many years. For the Pirates to do this, big stage, freshman keeper, boy, you just got to be really happy for that program and to continue to take that next step now moving on into a district championship.
Yeah, I mean, Perkins has earned it. They've earned it all season. I mean, getting the ranking #2. Lexington was down, but they showed that rankings don't really mean much and that they can fight until the last second. But unfortunately, they were not able to pull through, and Perkins came out with the win.
Lexington did have a flair for the dramatics tonight with Lotzenheiser. The goal was just 2:40 to go in that second half to even force the extra session. Nobody, of course, scoring in either of the 15-minute frames with a golden goal. That's why we went into the penalty shootout where Perkins ended up winning 4-3. And then your final stats of the night. Thought Minutemen really controlled a lot of the pace, and specifically in that second half, but it's all about just capitalizing. They were only able to once, and on the flip side, Perkins did just enough to get the win.
Yeah, Lexington had a lot of energy. They had a lot of runouts, a lot of opportunities, but a lot of the times they were just going a bit too fast a pace, I thought, for a good, clean goal and to be able to capitalize on the great goalie that Perkins had.
A great one, and just a freshman. Pretty cool. He's got some great poise, too. Love all the shout-outs that he gave and to a lot of his senior teammates. As you see, Lexington, 23 shots, but to your point, 10 on frame, but it didn't feel like, outside of a couple, and especially that Will Perkins one in the second extra session where you really thought, man, that it was going to put it away. I almost called that it was in the goal, and it actually wasn't. But outside of that, didn't get that great of looks, maybe rushing a bit.
Yeah, they usually just try to dribble the ball too much, and then they would kind of get it lost in defenders, and I think that's where they kind of lost their clean looks.
And as you look at Perkins now moving forward, they got to take on the top seed in Madison, the team that you just saw win live and free here in the first semifinal session. Give me some initial thoughts on what you think of that one. Pirates and Rams going head to head.
Yeah, I mean, both teams tonight played like they wanted to win, and they both did win. So I guess it's whoever wants it more on Saturday. That's usually what it comes down to in tournaments. But they both got great ball control, great teamwork, and a great defensive line. So it's really anybody's game.
It's going to be a fun one. That I know for sure, and I'm expecting probably more goals than we saw in regulation here tonight, just the 1-1. But it boils down to a penalty shootout and with the freshman keeper getting in the head of a couple of veterans. He said that he saw it in the pros happen, and he gets it done here tonight as Perkins is moving on. So are we for tonight, though. It's been a long day of soccer, but a ton of fun here at Norwalk. They've been great hosts as well, but we couldn't be here live and free without the help of all of our generous sponsors. Big thank you to Mechanics Bank, Baker's Collision, Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, Barrister Title Group, Charter NextGen, and the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation. Brandon Powell had all the great shots for you on the camera tonight. You just heard from Georgia McFarland, also tracking all the stats. I'm Brian Skronsky saying so long for now, but we'll see you tomorrow. 6 more live streams coming up, live and free. See you then.